When we're all done with compositing and applying post effects, it's time to render. We can save out a single frame here in After Effects, or render out a sequence or a movie if we need. Depending on where we're going to, we may want different output options. Anything from rendering out a compressed file for display on a website, to rendering out an uncompressed file or a sequence to go into a non-linear editor. We can also take an After Effects composition and bring it straight into Adobe Premiere, for example, and treat it as footage. I'll render out a single frame, but I'll do it with the Render Queue for this exercise. I'll choose Composition and Add to Render Queue. In the Render Queue, we can specify what we're rendering, and also what format, how long it should be, where it's going, and any compression options. I'll click on my output module for lossless, and I'm going to choose under Format, a TIFF sequence. I'll set my channels here to RGB because I don't need an alpha, and click OK. Now I'll go into the best settings here in the render settings, and in those, I'm going to put in a custom time. In my custom time, I'll put the end at 00. This gives me a duration of 1 frame, which will get me a single image. I'll click OK and click OK to this dialog. Make sure you always check before you render that you're using the right frame rate, that you've got the right quality, resolution, and size, and that if you're using frame blending or anything else, that it's available and checked. I'll click OK, and now I'm ready to put a name on this and put it out to a directory. I'll click on the name here, Output 2, and I browsed over to the finished images in the exercise files. I've included the finished images for each of the compositing applications, Nuke and After Effects, so we can see what the final file looks like. I'll uncheck Save in Subfolder, and I'm going to name this Interior Sky After Effects. I'll click Save, and I'm ready to render. I'll click Render here in the Render Queue, and After Effects will render out my image with all of its post effects and compositing. Once that's done, I'll go take a look at that image and see how my compositing came out, full screen. Here's my finished image. I've got a nice subtle depth of field blur going on the far doors, and my stairs up close are in focus, showing me the fine detailing on the cable railing. I've got a little bit of a glow on the right side wall, just where the skylight is really hot there on the white paint. I've adjusted my colors so I've got the rich greens of my tile showing against the cool gray of my terrazzo. My ambient occlusion is helping to ground everything, and there's a subtle shine across that tile from my spec pass. It's all working together, and because I put this together in a compositing application, I had the flexibility to really push around the art to where I wanted it to go easily, and apply things that are time-intensive in Maya, such as depth of field, easily, telling the audience where I want them to look, and really showcasing the best features of this design.